Hello Internet. Welcome to Poku Recap, a channel where we talk about anything and everything pop culture. We feature different content from Asian and Western origins. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more of our videos. Just a reminder that spoilers are ahead. Zombies have bitten the world of Korean dramas and films for years. This is why it is not surprising to actually find a lot on this genre these days in South Korea. Due to the success of the recent Netflix release, All of Us Are Dead, it is no wonder that people are clamoring for more under the same genre. Happiness is a 2021 zombie-themed Korean drama, starring Park Hyung-sik, Han Yoo-joo, and Jo Woo-jin. This was Hyung-sik's post-military comeback drama, while this was Yoo-joo and Woo-jin's comeback to the small screen, after focusing on projects for the big screen for years. The series centers mainly on a group of very different individuals, living in one apartment building, under quarantine, during the time of the infection. Don't be fooled by its title, as the show is the opposite of it. Somehow I feel like the show was named that way, because it showed how hard it was to attain happiness. Happiness comes with a price, and sometimes you have to fight for what truly makes you happy. In the series, Jung Ji-hyun, played by Park Hyung-sik, and Yoon Se-bom, played by Han Yoo-joo, have become accidental friends since high school. They bond over a suicide attempt gone wrong, and have been close ever since. 12 years later, Ji-hyun becomes a detective, while Se-bom becomes a part of the Special Operation Unit of the police force. They will be the main couple in the story later on. The setting of the drama is a couple of years after the pandemic started. This apocalyptic thriller takes place in a time in which infectious diseases have become the new norm. Next is a failed coronavirus treatment drug. This green pill will end up causing a worldwide pandemic known as the retavirus, also known as mad person disease. Those infected will experience short bouts of insanity and bloodlust before they completely regress into a zombie-like state. The South Korean military and police forces will try to contain its spread through extensive investigation and authoritative quarantine measures, even putting the country under martial law. There is a research facility run by Han Tae-sok, played by Jo Woo-jin. The facility houses many of the patients, who are kept under observation, to further understand and cure the disease. It was revealed that the symptoms of mad person disease is first accompanied by an unquenchable thirst. This is followed by the pupils turning white. Lastly, the biting and consumption of humans start. Fortunately, the disease is not airborne. However, it spreads through scratches and bites. Yoon Se-bom will be one of the first people to get scratched by a trainee in the police academy, and will then be brought to the facility for evaluation. Luckily, she is seemingly immune to the disease. Some of those who have contracted the disease are able to return to their former selves, albeit temporarily only. Because she needed to still be under monitoring, she makes a deal with Han Tae-sok to help her secure her own place, which leads her to get an apartment in a newly constructed building. The only trade-off is that she must be married. She immediately thinks of asking Yi-hyun, her longtime friend, to marry her so that they can take advantage of the offer, and he agrees to be her fake husband. The building is luxurious, with public rentals consisting of the lower 5 floors, and the upper floors for those who own their apartments. Upon moving in, they realize that class discrimination is evident, and that there is a great divide between the lower and upper floor residents. They will meet many interesting and strange residents along the way, but they will form a close attachment to their neighbor's young daughter the most. Things will start to get complicated when the infected start to get into the apartment building. All of the tenants must learn to set aside the differences, in order for them to be able to survive. Trusting strangers is never easy, and in this series, they were really able to show how an odd mix of personalities, trapped inside their apartment building, under quarantine, can really make people change. True agendas will come forth. Alliances will be broken and formed. Deception will become a weapon. Hunger and paranoia will become strong driving forces. Greed will corrupt people, and even ruin relationships. The residents of Sayang Forest Lasil Building 101 will eventually realize that the zombies should be the least of their concerns, as in the end, we humans are monsters too. Some characters were despicable, and so easy to hate on, while the others were simply misunderstood, but meant well. Others were easy to root for, of course, but again, not everybody is as they seem. Honestly, adding human elements to these kinds of genre can make or break the story. Somehow that balance was almost tipped over in the last episodes when they even added a serial killer in the mix. Identifying the infected is somehow both easy and hard at the same time. The infected are enticed by blood, but some of them become good at controlling their thirst, that they don't get tempted so easily by it right away. They also go back to the normal selves eventually, with no recollection whatsoever that they have attacked humans earlier, or perhaps are just in denial. Some of them even become so good at deceiving humans by asking for help. When they convince someone to help them, they eventually attack them. Cutting off the power and water supply, while under quarantine period, only made matters worse for the people in the building. They resort to stealing, framing others, or worse, killing them, just to get what they want. At the end of everything, there was no other choice but to escape the building, with the help of Han Tae-sok, who was now desperate for a cure, as time was running out. Se-bom was the only one who had developed antibodies, or so he thought. Luckily for him, more people from the apartment building end up having them. The remaining tenants get rescued. The others who committed crimes were taken to court to pay for their crimes, while the others went back to their old lives. The Rita virus, as quickly as it spread, also eventually disappeared. Although the show featured the dark side of being human, I would like to believe that it showed the good side of humanity as well. Han Tae-sok could have just decided to abandon the mission, abandoning his sick pregnant wife in the process. However, he chose to stay and figure out a cure instead. The older couple could have chosen to not accept their son again, after he decided to leave them behind earlier, to save himself. But in the end, they still welcomed him with open arms. These kinds of instances only show that as humans, we can choose to still hold on to hope, positivity, and forgiveness, despite all of the chaos surrounding us. We are vulnerable, and even the strong can be broken. That's how the characters were written in the series, which is something that I truly appreciated while watching it. The series had great performances. The progression felt so natural. Although there were some minor plot holes and inconveniences, I felt like it was overall very cohesive. It was entertaining, but some episodes can get a bit painful to watch, due to some characters and their actions. I think the audience was somehow able to relate to the people under quarantine, as we have all been experiencing something similar due to the ongoing pandemic. However, the drama missed making the conclusion clear, or more dramatic. Everything was too conveniently solved when everything was just messed up before that, which felt like it was missing something, like the story needed something more to leave a bigger impact. The ending was too abrupt for me, and some episodes just felt like the stories were stretched too thin, and somehow predictable and repetitive. With all these to point out, I feel like Happiness was a good series, but it wasn't the best for 2021. So, if you want to watch a zombie series, which is not heavily reliant on the gore, and the sheer terror of being hunted by the undead, but also delving into the reality of being with humans, in a stressful apocalyptic setting, then, this might just be for you. Oh, and there's actually a hint of romance in the series as well. Although honestly, I barely felt it, as in the end, it was not the center of the story. Have you seen this South Korean TV series? If so, write your thoughts on the comments section below. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Until next time, thank you for watching.